on this computer. All right. So, hey guys, I apologize for coming into my summer attire, but this is what you're going to get a lot over the next 10 weeks. So it kind of just is what it is. All right, so what I wanted to open this up to everybody that's Ruby and above today. And this, we'll see how this goes. Maybe it's going to be something that we do a staple thing of just Ruby and above, because I think it's, I just kind of feel like it's important for our team and our leadership, because understand you guys are all the staple of this team, okay? You guys are all the staple of the team. Whether you guys have enrolled 10 distributors or you've enrolled 1 distributor, it doesn't matter. You guys have done something in your business to get you to where you are today. Okay, so own that. First and foremost, own that. Whether you're a Ruby, whether you're an Emerald, whether you're a Diamond, whether you've lost rank, whether you're still that rank, it doesn't matter. You own that. I have lost ranks many, many, many times, and never once have I allowed that to detour my ability to lead in any shape or form. Okay, you guys. So own where you are right now, and just keep and have that vision of where you want to go. I want to talk about a little bit about the rest of this month. We have like 2 weeks and like 5 days left of this month. There's a few things that I want opinions on. And you guys can either unmute yourself or you guys can just put it in the chat. It doesn't matter, whichever one you want to do. Yesterday I put in the team chat a distributor host to post. Okay, now we've talked about this many times before. And that it hasn't worked and stuff like that, and we tested it out, and we always get those people that look like they lived under a bridge, and they are, that they don't want to actually work. They just want to sit on their butts and eat bonbons, and they don't ever want to. They look like me right now, and they don't ever want to take a selfie, kind of thing, So, but then I've been talking to some other leaders. Some of you guys I added to this a group called Exploding to Emerald. Some of you I couldn't yet because they blocked me. So Facebook blocked me, not the group blocked me. But some of you are in this group and some of you are not. And then so the rest of you I will add if you are not in that group. But these are corporate. There's 2 groups. One is Exploding to Emerald and one is Emerald and Above. And so you get to be in the Emerald above once you are an Emerald or above. And so but I was trying to add the entire team. So I was like adding I kept adding people, and it was like, you're not using this feature appropriately, so you've been blocked for 24 hours. So if you're not in it, that's why. If you are in it, these are groups I found just by kind of being nosy. And I've been building some relationships with some different leaders and stuff like that. And so many people are saying, oh, distributor host to post, distributor host to post. I'm like, are you freaking for real right now? And you don't get trolls? Like, you don't get trolly looking people? And it's just like, well, it's the same kind of as loyal customers. Like, you get the people that say that they can't afford it. You get the people that say that, oh, I don't have a job. I thought this was free. We all get those people. And she goes, it's the same thing. She goes, the distributor host to post, it's the same thing as the product. It's the law of large numbers. You have to do a lot of them to get, good people kind of thing. It's the same with customer. And I thought, okay, well, that does make sense. So the one I sent was just the one she gave me. I made a tweak to saying 6 driven ladies, because I personally don't like enrolling dudes. It's just my personal preference. I don't know how to talk to them on that level. It's just my personal preference. Other people can talk to them great. I feel like I don't have a way with that. So more power to you if you can. But so I just tweaked it to kind of narrow down, because I had this one host to post. I literally had 3 guys, and I'm like, I don't know how to talk to you people. I really don't. So anyway, so yeah, so I want to preference this host a post because it really plays what is going to work for you guys individually, okay? What works for Chase might not work for Ashley. What works for Hannah might not work for Mariah, and so on and so forth. It just depends on you, the personality. Your network is a big one. So I have been playing around with this. I have been tweaking it a little bit and going back and forth because you don't want it to sound spammy. You don't want it to sound like a scam. Okay, I had 6 hosted posts go out yesterday, and I did the one I gave you, and then I made another one that I had tweets. Where is it? And I just put who do I know that could use an extra $500 to $1,000 a month from social media? My girl Cassie is looking for 6 driven ladies that are social media savvy, positive, and go-getters. Drop an emoji below for info. So that's the one I wrote. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4, 5. Okay. So I had 5 distributor hosted posts go up yesterday and 1 product. I had 2 comments out of every single post, which was like, who? Okay. And I have boosted them several times with nothing. Okay. So then, now Mariah, on the other hand, has posted, got several up, and she had like over 10 comments. So that's why I'm saying it just is going to work differently for different people. So I've tweaked it again. I've tweaked it again for myself. Okay, do you guys know the post that says now hiring? And it says something, I'm looking for work mamas, college students, stay-at-home mamas, things like that. Like it's a one from Courtney Board that we've used in the past. And it has like the little heart asterisk, and it says like now hiring, and then it will go into something. I took that post and I tweaked it into a host of posts. Now, so far today, I have had only 2 people post for me so far. Several people have not read. They told me they were going to post for me, but they have not read the actual post yet. So I'm hoping those ones still go up tonight, but I'm going to be messaging more after dinner. I have had, let me see, where is, no, let's see, where is it saved? Okay, Instagram has changed all their things, so it's not in the same spot. Okay, so those 2, one was Instagram and one was Facebook. The one on Facebook has immediately got me 2 comments that I have yet to respond to. And the one on Instagram has got me 1 comment. And she said, well, she asked, is this legit? Which, I mean, we're going to get that too, you know. But I have, with just only 2 hosted posts up, I've gotten more comments. So really tweak it. So my point is, take a distributor hosted post, maybe think of a distributor post that's really worked well for you in the past. And then take that post and then tweak it to a hosted post. So how I tweaked this post, I said, hey guys, my friend Cassie is looking for 6 mamas or 6 college students. Is looking for 6 college students, working mamas, stay-at-home mamas, and young professionals that want to work from social media like me. Oh, I should tweak that. And it makes an extra income. She's a work from home, special needs mama, and loves the freedom of being able to work when and where she wants. Take the income as high as you want. If you need an extra $500 to $2,000 a month by posting on social media, drop an emoji below, and she'll message you with info. So I just tweaked all the possession words, and I made it to where it was talking about me versus her. I missed one, obviously. I should have read it out loud to myself. So think about a distributor post that has worked for you, maybe a post that you signed a DT in the past from a post, and then utilize it and then tweak it and make your own hosted post with it, okay? Some key things, try to refrain from using the $ sign. use the emoji versus the $, because that's a trigger for Instagram and Facebook. Also, if you say comment below, that's also a trigger for Facebook of algorithms. So that's why I tend to use the drop of an emoji below. Or give me your favorite emoji below or something like that. So I will tweak that end based on what it is, but usually comment below, like when you're saying like, hey, do something below, that's a trigger word for Facebook, and then the $. So yeah, I do think that this can work, but it's going to take all of us being really proactive in, number one, doing it and tweaking it to what we feel like it works best for us. Just like with the products, a year ago, I didn't really like Host to Post. If I wasn't very driven on Host to Post, I felt like it really didn't work. But until I watched videos and I gathered in more information and we tweaked it, and then come December, we're like, oh, okay, let's try it because we need volume. And then holy hell, things blew up. So it wasn't until that happened that we ended up loving Host to Post, okay? So I feel like it's kind of the same thing with this. We need to do a lot of it and tweak things along the way individually of what works for us, and then keep doing it, okay? So that's first and foremost with the distributor Host to Post. And I want your guys' feedback in the chats, saying, hey, I tweaked this seems to be really working for me and stuff. And so as you guys are getting up more and more distributor Host to Post, okay, really focus in on that. We need a crap ton of new distributors. This is what my vision is. Okay, my vision for the next half of the year, because once June's ended, we're halfway done with the year, which is insane. Is that we're top 150. Okay, now that means, we got some shit to do, dude. Okay, because we ain't even in the top 500. But it can happen, and I believe it can. In order for all of us to get to where we want to go within the next 90-day period, we have to be vigilant in enrolling distributors. We have to get to that point where it just works. Just like we are all with the loyal customers. We all know how to sign loyal customers, you guys. I'm not worried about that at all. We all know how to sign LCs. It's the distributor side. I feel like we all, including myself is very much included in that. We need a solid game plan of how to, there is no reason why we can't take a brand new distributor that just enrolled and get them to Ruby within 30 days. There is not a reason. To get that $1,000 guarantee bonus right now this month, there's no reason we can't take a brand new distributor, have them get their 4 customers in 72 hours with using Host to Post, and getting them Ruby within 30 days top, 60 days top, depending on. And that's what we really need to focus on. We need to focus on building Rubies. A new person coming in, they get their 4 immediately. We give them a deadline of 72 hours. Say, okay, this is what we want you to do. And when we set the bar, you guys, they don't know anything different. When we set the bar, they don't know anything different. They're like, okay, I got 72 hours to do this. All right, let's go. Okay, now obviously there's going to be ones that don't do anything, but that's just the name of the game. But I can guarantee you, success loves speed. And when we are setting the bar high, people are going to be excited, okay? And we're getting them 3 distributors immediately. And so to have a game plan and to have a system that we can go, okay, here's your Ruby chart. This is what we're going to do. And this is the game plan to go get this done. It's going to blow up. And we're going to have Rubies being built, okay? Because, everything bases off Rubies. Every one of you to hit diamond and double, you need Rubies. You need Rubies being built. And it takes for them, and we need to have independent people building, okay? And then that starts with us. Okay, that all starts with us, independently building legs. Okay. So that's why I really want to have concentration on this. I really want to feel it out, feel what works. Really, I mean, heavily focusing on this week, you guys. I want as many distributors enrolled this month as possible. If we don't enroll distributors this month and get some, we have like 10 enrollments for the entire month, you guys. Like, it sucks right now, like 10 team wide. Like, it's like poop. Like, understand, like it's our paychecks are going to dwindle, and I don't want that happening. I want you guys making like double your pay. Okay, I want the people who've lost rank to get your ranks back. Okay, and then how that's going to happen is distributors. Okay, so, and we have these $49 codes right now, you guys, and stuff for the people that bought green carpet tickets, and we have to utilize it. We have to utilize it. Even for the 99, like, once my codes are gone, dude, I'm going to just be balls to the wall. Like, balls to the wall. I'm going to still be enrolling people for that 99. Okay. Because I paid 99 and I would do it 100 times over. The other thing is, okay, this is what I want your guys' opinions on. I watched a 2-hour video last night from a presidential diamond who went presidential in February. Last year she was triple. Like the end of 2017, she was triple. Her and her fiance split up after 8 years together. She was devastated. Her fiance was her double for her triple. Her whole thing came crashing down. And she had to figure out how to rebuild and get things back in order. All of 2018, she really focused on leadership and everything, and just healing privately. She said she didn't really talk much about it. And then 2019, she had lost rank. Her volume was in the tank, and she needed a way to get things back going. And so she ended up having this, like, another leader asked her to do a Zoom with her team, so she did. And then this leader said, hey, do you know what we're doing? Like, with this push chat we're talking about? And she's like, no, like, what is it? And so she starts telling her about this. And this leader is like red to a hill. She's like red, like redder than anybody I've ever seen red. And she goes to the point where I felt uncomfortable talking to her. And so pretty much this push chat, like, we've done push chats in the past. You guys remember them. Well, this one is like what we've done in the past, except it's strict. It's very strict. So they started this push chat in the middle of January, and with 11 leaders she had 11 people on her team that were actively working and that were actively going to be in this push chat. In 2 weeks, they enrolled 500. They had 500 new enrollments on their team. 500 in 2 weeks with 11 people. And this was before they even did upselling. So most of their upsells were 30, like most of it was like 30 and 60 BVs. And then there was distributors in that too, but that was just like a test run. Then they tweaked it for February. So what they do now is on the 1st of every month, they have open enrollment for the team, okay? In February, they had 20 people in this chat, and they did 800 enrollments with 20 people. Now, we have people, like, there are people, you guys are committed, you guys are in it. There are several more people on this team that are in it, that are committed. So what's the missing link? Okay. So this chat was incredibly specific. She said the people who wanted in had to send, she had her and 2 other leaders running the chat. The chat was titled Top 75. Okay, so if we do this, it would be titled Top 150. By midnight that night, the people who wanted in had to send the 3 leaders their 5 goals with ranks that month. income that they wanted to hit that month. They had to be detailed, specific, and intentional. Why they deserve to be in that chat, why do they want to be in that chat, and what do they want to come from that chat. They had to send them by midnight that night. It wasn't a 12:02, 12:01, 12:05. If you didn't send it by midnight, you did not get into the chat, okay? Because it's a commitment to them and it's a commitment to their business. And if they're not committed about meeting deadlines, they're not going to be committed about staying on task. Okay, also they did a live video with all these rules. So everybody knew the rules ahead of time of what they were doing to get into it. Okay, so if they removed themselves or they got removed, it wasn't anything personal. It was just the fact that they weren't living up to what they said that they were going to do. Okay, simple as that. Their host to post giveaway is only for the people in this chat. And one of the rules is that they must have a buy-in to the host to post giveaway. That is a rule coming in. So therefore, it eliminates people that have been in the business for 6 months using the host to post giveaway and not helping, okay? And then also, she says she had a lot of people that would donate like 10, 15 bucks to it, and then have like 5 people entered, like for the entire 30 days, like 5 hosts supposed to go up. And she's like, that's just stupid. So there's that. Also, so the top 75 chat was only for the 6 list every single morning, and it was only for enrollments to be announced. That was it. There was another chat that was a check-in chat that every single night by midnight, people had to check in with their list that they were done and completed. If they did not check in by midnight, you have a 3 strikes, you're out rule. So if you don't check in 3 times, you're out of the group. The 6th list that they do every single day is post once on Facebook and Instagram, IG stories and Facebook stories, like 5 to 10 IG and Facebook stories. Follow up with the people from days previously. Add 200 on Instagram, add 50 to 100 on Facebook, message 200 people a day. And that also includes follow-up messages and 15 to 20 minutes of personal development. So that was what was on their thing. They started with 100 people, messaging 100 people a day, and then they moved it up to 200. Okay, there was also a rule that if you're not enrolling every 72 hours, that's also a rule that you have to be enrolling somebody every 72 hours. Pretty hefty. Like this is like a no, this is like, she said that if you're doing all these things and you're not enrolling every 72 hours, you're not doing all these things. Like she was like, there is some, like she goes, there is reason that there is, if you want your results, you need to up your game. Like there's proof in, like the more you do, the more results you're gonna have, which is completely true. April, I signed 26 LCs. I had about 100 people post for me on Host to Post. May, I had 30 people post for me on Host to Post, and I signed like 12 or 13. The numbers are where the results come from. You know, like the numbers are the numbers are the numbers. You do more, you're gonna get more. So that's very much important. Every LC is worth 3 points. Every DT is worth 5 points. She updates a leaderboard every night. And this is where the competitiveness comes into play because people want to be on that leaderboard. And whoever has the most points at the end of the month gets something really special. When they get up to 200 enrollments, the people on this chat get qualified to have a Zoom with a top leader. Depending on like they said, they were looking for a leader at that time to talk about Host to Post for Instagram, and so they were looking at a leader to do something on that. So it's like topic based of who's good at what. Also, she had a rule that her thing, and this is what Dara and Mariah and I were discussing earlier today, is because we talked a lot about when we message people, it's kind of like a dud. You know, we don't get the responses back. All three of us were in. Bless you, Mariah. All 3 of us have that same issue with when we message our Facebook friends list. It's just a dud. I get more host to post up when I'm posting and doing polls and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys also agree, Ashley, Chase, and Hannah. I don't know if you guys also agree with that. Like when I'm messaging my friends list, I don't get that much response. It just, it kind of is what it is. So I think like if we did this, it would be like we would just have a goal that you have to minimally hit 5 host to post a day. And then that would be what we check in with, because on Facebook and Instagram has this too. It's the saved where it's a saved option. So like all of their host to posts are right there. So, like that would be our check-in. So we can screenshot that, and that would be our check-in, saying, okay, yeah, I got my 5 or I got 10 up today or whatever. This girl says she ideally gets 5 to 10 up every single day in host to post. She says there might be a day that one just blows up crazy, and she goes, then that keeps me busy. But for me, I feel like with our numbers, I feel like it's not necessarily, I don't know, like I have one blow up like few and far between. You know what I mean? So I feel that that's like a tweak that maybe we would make. Because I do feel like, I don't know, like I mean, I can message 100 people if I don't ever look at their profiles, but I don't know how beneficial that would be, you know? Like if I'm not looking at their profiles, I can message 100 people, but yeah. So I don't know, give me guys your thoughts on this, but this is something that like they are like literally going, like they're upselling with loyals on this. I have an upsell script from Cheyenne Knox that I screenshotted it because it was like in passing. And we need to figure out also upselling really well, because they've literally enrolled like over 70,000, like in between the 6 weeks of January and February, they enrolled like 70,000 BV, you guys. And she says that her goals is not like, oh, I'm going to enroll 3 LCs today. Like her goal is BV driven. Like it's like, oh no, I'm going to enroll 500 BV today. Like it's not like, oh, like if that makes sense. Like, oh, I enrolled 2 LCs today or 3 LCs. No, how much BV did you bring in? And I think that that's something that we really need to like work our minds around, is because we need that volume, like how much volume are you bringing in? She's signing now, and she gives extra credit to anybody who signs a 90 BV or more order. She gives like extra credit to, like an extra point they get. And so her volume literally skyrocketed, you guys, in a 6-week time span. And to where enough volume where it was, she ended up going presidential at the end of February, which is just insane, because presidential, you need 250,000 in volume. So like last month, we struggled to stay above 20, and we were 3,000 volume less than April. And this month we are already down. So like, that's why I'm like, this is like what I'm in beast mode right now. Like I'm in beast mode. Like I'm going to be fighting tooth and nail. And you guys, the one, like you guys want it. I mean, let's see, there's only one of you. Ashley's the only person that has not lost rank on here. So, and yeah, Ashley and myself have not lost rank. Everyone else has lost rank. That's not to say though, I spent an entire year at an executive though, when I was an Emerald. So I know the issues all too well, and I want to stop the bleeding where it's at. We have a cut artery, and we need to sear it fast and apply pressure. Okay. Now, and this stuff happens all the time, you guys. It's not something that is like crazy weird or anything like that. This is just stuff that happens in business. It's, you know, all of us have played a role. My fault in everything was the fact that I took my eyes off of enrolling distributors, and I should have never done that. And that was my fault. So I'm not going to do that again. So like if we just all lock arms, and I've said this before, if we just all lock arms together, we can fix this fast. But it's all going to take us being committed and doing everything that we can, like hitting their 6 list, doing whatever. So I want to open up to you guys. What are your thoughts on this push? I think it's something that would be good to hold everybody accountable and to really see who are the ones that are like really are like serious and like ready to go type of thing. You know what I mean? So does anybody have anything?
So like, as far as, I'm just trying to make sure that I have like the 6 list done. Posting, of course, on IG and Facebook. Stories times 10, follow-ups, and I like the fact that follow-ups are also not part of the 200 messages. However, what we've talked about is to like messaging the friends list, those kinds of things, like how ineffective and effective that really is, depending on network. Of course, expanding has to happen.
Yeah.
50 minutes of personal development is going to happen. But like, what are our, like, I really want to know other people's thoughts to that, how they're doing as far as like messaging their actual, their friends list, how it's working. If so, what messages they're sending, how they're working this conversation, because honestly, for the last 2 months, it's not been working for me.
Right.
You know? And so I've really been trying to figure out other ways, going back to older, you know, other people who have posted for me, doing different times of day as far as posting for giveaways and all those kinds of stuff. But it's like getting the same people every time. So it's kind of like, I feel like I'm in this hamster wheel. And I want to know what other people, I really wish Ashley was on here, Ashley Seeley, because I don't know, like maybe she's doing something and not sharing with us what she's doing, that
yeah,
unless you know.
She just has a really good
What's
network.
that?
She just has a really good network. Yeah, she's saying the same thing. I do have Cassie Nero's message that she's sending to everybody.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to put that in the chat right now. I'm going to type it out and put it in the chat. She says that she on this month, like offering that month. Every month. She says the same thing every single month on this message. So like if she's messaging them for February, she's messaging them for March, April, and she says the same exact message, which I think is kind of funny. I don't think that we'll ever, until our networks are all just like a rotating machine, I don't think it's something that we can ever step 100% away from messaging our friends list. Because if we don't have 5 host to post up that day, we have to do something to get it. But I'm just like, yeah, I want to hear from other people and how it's working. Because I don't think anybody has been really getting 5 host to post up a day, especially lately. I mean, when I'm like focused and I'm like doing it, yeah, I'm getting it between 5 and 10 a day. But this last 10 days, minus yesterday, like count backward, the 10 days I have not been 100% focused on anything. So except for getting past the inspection. So yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts on that? Chase, Hannah, Ashley, Mariah?
I know for me, like mostly my host posts that get put up are from people that I've talked to about our products. And when they say like, oh, I need a little bit of time to think about it, I kind of slip it in and they're like, oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So that's where I find most of my.
That's that's a really great way. And so Dara, did you hear that? You're kind of frozen. But yeah, though, that's a really great way to get it in, and then you're not having to go back and forth with, it's like you're saving yourself time right there.
Right. And they, like, when they see other people comment on their post, it kind of gets them thinking about it more. So
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, and then does anyone else have any thoughts?
I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Chase. Ash will go next.
Okay, I was just going to say, I do get a lot of people from that, and it's generally really helpful. Like, those seem to be host posts that work better, too, for some reason. If that person's interested, it just seems like their network is either more positive because they are, or just more interested in trying things. Oh, my God, my grandmother's here. I gotta go. Sorry.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, Ashley, go ahead.
I mean, it really depends. It really depends. I can message, say, 50 people and get one response. I've tried a lot of different messages. But I think even that, like, if you get 2 or 3 responses out of 50 or 100 people you message, is it the most, like, productive thing you could be doing? No, but if you're not getting the haps up, then that's what you got to do. It's just a matter of doing it consistently, I think.
Right.
And not just, with me, I've had a hard time lately going from offense to defense to offense to defense. And even though I want to stay on the offense all the time, that's not going to be possible all the time. I still have a pretty small network. I don't even have 1,000 people yet.
Right.
So, I mean, I think we just have to do whatever we're going to do, but doing it consistently.
Right, and that's why I feel like like having a strict number on, like, saying, okay, you have to message this many people, I kind of feel like is a moot, like, it's a moot point, because everybody works their business a little bit differently. And yes, we have to be talking to a lot of people. That is a given. I think everybody knows that. But it's the fact that, like, we have to have a result. And I think that is, if we're looking at the result factor of, like, those 5 to 10 hosts to post up every single day, then you know you've done your part. You know what I mean? And I think we're always going to have the issues of, like, I think we all need help with our networks. I mean, that it's just like, it is what it is, you know? Because even for me, like, I put up posts and it's like crickets, and I'm like, hello, you guys, I see that you have 775 friends. So why is this post not, like, getting anything? You know? And I think we all have those.
Well, like, another thing too, like, sorry, who did I cut off? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go
Me?
ahead.
Like, one other thing too was, like, once Laura was signed up, Laura and I are both from chat, so legit, our network are, like, all the same people.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's another reason why I've kind of gotten away from messaging my friends list as well, is because of that symbol. Because I know she already is. I have a much larger network. So it's like, I'm kind of going, like, near the, I guess, closer to end of my list. Because I know that those are all people that are kind of, like, outside of her network and things like that. That's also something to be thinking about as you're enrolling DTs, if they're actually, like, legit friends and within your network, those kinds of things. I don't know, because I know that I think is what played a big factor for me.
Yeah.
Like, messaging for my friends list is because, you know, we were both doing it. We were both hitting up the same people.
Right.
And that's tough. Like, these are people that are my friends, like, legit friends. I'm not going to delete you. Like, I genuinely care about your life. You know what I mean? So it really is, like, working on your network past that, I guess, and continuing to build.
I mean, and I know for me too, because Host to Post was, like, seriously, like, blowing up, like, was seriously, like, blowing up a month or so ago for me. Like I kind of stepped away from like adding people like normally, because it was like, oh, well, I'm adding like 20, 30 people a day because of Host to Post, and it was like going so well. And then, but these, looking back through these people, these are not actually the kind of like the people that I want on my timeline. And so now I'm kind of having to like go back through and like deleting some of these people as they're coming up on my timeline. So I know for me, I got away from that, and I need to get back to it. So that's what I'm working on now. This week I started like expanding back on my sponsored ads. Expanding on my sponsor ads literally is like, it's just really, works really well for me. So what do you guys think about doing a push like this? Like maybe if we tweaked it a little bit, or how do you think people will respond? It's going to be strict, but I kind of almost feel that it's like a good thing that it's strict, because I kind of feel like everyone is kind of floating in air right now. So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I love the idea, personally. I think that, I think it's great, but I'm pretty competitive. And so for me, that's just like a driving factor to just do it. And, I just think it'll make it more of a priority than it already is. And that's huge. And it'll also show us in the team just who's serious about it and who's not serious about it. Like my enrollments have not been great the last month and a half. And that's terrible. But I think that this will just help everyone overall just treat it more,
Not like a hobby.
Not like a hobby. Treat it more as they would a job. Treat it more like they would, feeding themselves or their kids or going to work or going to school.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And
I know and this is for, especially like from me personally, it's like, and I know, and I talked with you about this, earlier today too, about days getting chaotic and crazy, and it's like, okay, so what of my non-negotiables can I suddenly negotiate with, because I'll just do extra the next day or whatever. But this is like, no, bitch, you're gonna stay up for another hour and get this done, type thing, And I know for me that's actually like not a hard pill to swallow, because instead of me coming home from work at 1 or 2 in the morning and staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning decompressing or whatever, it's like, I feel like it's a weird time of night to be doing these things, but if that's the time that I have to do it. Like, I don't want to, I guess like part of me feels like maybe I'm a little bit of a creeper, like messaging someone at that hour of the night, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's just me thinking too much into it, or, does anybody else feel that way? Am I alone in this? Am I alone, like, feeling like a creeper?
No, I used to message, for me, I used to message at that, like, 1 o'clock in the morning and stuff, because for me, Instagram actually worked so much better for me in messaging at night back then, because I would actually get pissy people on Facebook for whatever reason. And that's actually what turned me off to Facebook in the beginning, because I would literally get like, my phone dinged and you woke me up, and why do you need at 1 o'clock in the morning? And I was like, you do have a mute on your phone. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is the time I have. And so it is, and I didn't get it very often, but it was something that was just like a bad taste in my mouth. And so Instagram actually worked a lot better for me doing that. I would message 50 people at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I would actually have full distributor conversations at 1 o'clock in the morning, because the demographic is so different on Instagram than it is on Facebook. So the demographic on Instagram is more of the 18 to 35-year-olds. Like, that's the demographic usually on Instagram, where you're going to find more of those people that are night owls, or people that are just, are just up, So I found it way simpler to message late at night on Instagram. So, and then Facebook, I usually would just tackle in the daytime. But that's what I did in the past. Because I was very Instagram driven before, I would say the summer of last year, I was very Instagram driven for like 2.5 years. And I messaged for distributors. And that's how I got a lot of my distributors in the beginning, was I messaged for them. But they all flaked out and they're like, oh, you actually have to work? I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't know. So I just kind of stepped away from that. And I wanted people to actually come to me. So that was why I wanted to change it. But I would, Dara, if that's something, I say message with the time that you have, or work with the time that you have. If that's the time that you have, and that's where your availability sits, do it.
Yeah, it's like I'm at like a resting point with cooking dinner, so I can like chime in now. But it's like, Cassie, this morning you were like, so what's your schedule? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like with working. And I'm like, well, I have a toddler, every 1.5-year-old, and a newborn, so it kind of differs daily. But for the most part, I was like, I get some stuff done late morning, because still for the most part she sleeps 90% of the day. So Samuel's just like exploring around and playing around. So as long as he's not being a total turd, then I can typically get stuff done late morning. And then I was like, and then I nap in the afternoon when they nap. And then I can typically do stuff again in the evening after dinner when we're just chilling. And then, depending on, she eats at midnight. And so a lot of the times I find myself, with how late we end up staying up after putting them to bed, I'm like, I might as well just stay up till midnight. So then I'll be kind of working up until typically later than I normally did in the past. And that's how it is now. Whenever she starts sleeping through the night, whenever that blessed day comes, I know I'm going to be getting up earlier with her when she wakes up in the morning. And so then I'll start getting up early and staying awake earlier. So then I know a lot of my stuff will be done early morning, like it was when Samuel was little. So you pretty much just have to like work with it. Like she said, work with the time you have. It will change because life changes. And so I've had 5 million different schedules and times when I worked over the course of the 30 years of this business, because my life has changed. But as long, at the end of the day, as you're getting all your stuff done, that's the bottom line.
Right. And I think too, it's, my schedule's changed a million times since I started this business. And I think it's just kind of rolling with the punches. Now it's summertime, so I am not getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, just FYI. I am not getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning. But I will be staying up a lot later though and getting my stuff done. So there's a balance of that. And so my schedule will be a little bit different for the next 10 weeks. But luckily I have my husband here now home to help. So that's a different blessing. So I would just say, figure out what your schedule is. And as long as you can get everything done, and so Dara, if you're messaging at 1 o'clock in the morning, make sure that at 1 o'clock in the morning, if it's a new day, that's starting the new day slot. So the 1 o'clock a.m. previously, that was a day before. So that way you can turn in a checklist by, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. So just make sure you're organizing it to where it's from that midnight to midnight where those tasks are getting done. So Hannah, were you going to say something on the push? No? Okay. So does everyone kind of feel like it's a good idea to do it and to kind of see and stuff, how it kind of works out? Obviously we could tweak it a little bit because I do feel like it needs to be tweaked, I think, for our team a little bit. I think 100, 200 messages a day. I think that if you're not getting 5 to 10 hosts to post up a day, you need to start messaging your friends list or doing something to change it, whatever that might be. So not saying that you won't have to message your friends list, but just saying that I would rather have a result factor there. A result factor. And and maybe having like a BV goal, like your BV goal, you know, to bring in is XYZ. I'm going to look over this Cheyenne Knox like upsell script too, because I like the way she's worded some of the things. I think the upsell scripts, again, like can work. You guys, I think it's going to be individualized on what works for who. The upsell scripts in the past just haven't sounded flowy to me. So therefore I really haven't like gone through with a lot of them because they have to feel right to me. So I think it's taking something and then like tweaking it and just working with it until it flows well enough because we need to be signing 90 BV orders for sure. Like we 100% do. It's in the best interest of the customer for results, and it's in the best interest for us as business owners and stuff like that. So we need to figure out a really great way that we can sign 90 BV orders. Also, this girl, her and her team only do TFX post to post. They only do TFX post to post. That's it. And she upsells the Cleanse and Fat Fighters. And what I have noticed in watching some of these is that they do have voice messages saved on their, like to them, like they have voice messages sent to themselves or on their voice memo app on their phone. And they record certain blurbs of the conversation to help seal the deal. So there's a voice blurb that she says that when she upsells on the Cleanse and the Fat Fighters, she sends them a voicemail about why it's beneficial and why they work together. And she explained, like, there's certain things that she'll explain through voicemail, but these are all copied, like they're all pre-recorded. And so she just sends like the one she did it in January and she just forwards them. She just forwards it to the person. So maybe something like that. I don't know. Like it's something to play around with. Something to play around with. And she says she goes like, write it out and then voice record it a couple of times and then save the one that sounds the best. And that's what she said. She goes, when I started telling people how they work together, she says it was like a no-brainer. Like I was signing 90 BVs like crazy. So that might be something to take into consideration. So, okay, guys, if there's anything else, does this all sound good? All sound good? So, all right. So I'm excited. Let's have feedback on the GT host to post. I have been getting them up. So let's really, I mean, balls to the wall, guys, like beast mode. I will look over this like push. She started it halfway through January. So like we're halfway through June almost. So maybe if we can get something set up by the weekend, that would be ideal. So yeah, so I'm like, let's just go crazy, you guys. We have so much time left of this month. Oh, there was an announcement today that was made that anybody who enrolls in June as a distributor has 4 months to claim any of the rank up bonuses. Okay, so if they go diamond, they get the $10,000 diamond bonus.
So yeah, when you said that earlier, I was thinking as far as like a post, as far as like advertising that. Yeah. Because especially those of us, even if you don't have the codes in 99, like people will sign up for 99. Like, yeah. I mean, my 3 distributors that I've signed last month and the month before that, they all signed up for 99. So I'm pretty sure that it was all 99. So people, like I said, for 99, I'm pretty sure it used to be even more expensive than that when Jocelyn signed up. And so, either way, but especially if you have a $49 code, I mean, use both of those things to your advantage with signing distributors. Like I thought maybe a post like, if you can make $10,000 in 4 months from your cell phone, would you do it? And like, just like a word post with a picture in the background and see, get comments and then message those people through the normal distributor conversation. And then at the end of it is when you implement the whole, like signing up for $10,000, I can get that for 49, like adding that in at the end messages, like just switching it up.
So yeah, I agree. And so this is a really big thing. They've never done anything like this before. They are being very adamant that this is the last month for rank ups. So you don't go diamond this month, you don't get a rank up. Now that's not to say there won't be something else that they'll announce. Because they usually do have stuff. And I think what they're doing is they're gearing up for green carpet. So I think they're going to get rid of some stuff and everything like that. And then green carpet's going to hit and there's going to be something big announced at green carpet. Because there's been something big announced the last 2 years in a row. One was the $10 kit deals, and then last year was the $20 kit deals for the first time. So yeah, so I think that what they're going to do is they're going to announce something big right in September to take us through the holidays and everything to conference, next year. So there's always stuff. There's always stuff. So, but let's focus because things can absolutely turn around in we have almost 3 weeks. We have almost 3 weeks. So think about it. If we got this pushed together and we got all of our, everybody, we were just fighting, you guys, we have more than 11 people that can freaking be balls to the wall on this team. Okay. We had 6 on here earlier tonight, and one's at work, one's at a meeting with an attorney. We have people that are really committed to this. If we can turn it around and have 500 enrollments in June, holy hell. We would be popping diamonds. We would be popping people. So don't let the fact that the first 10 days of the month haven't gone exactly amazing, because I haven't been on it either. And stuff with having everything I've had to get done. But
guys, just what you feed your mind is so freaking powerful. So if we've all had it's not like we've all had a slow month. I've had so it's but if you're constantly telling yourself, if you're constantly getting frustrated, being negative, or telling yourself nothing's working, this isn't working, et cetera, and being super negative about it, guess what? It's going to continue to not work no matter what you change post-wise. It's if you change the host post, you change the picture, you're changing what you're posting, what you're messaging, you're sharing all this stuff, but then you're still saying nothing's working, it's not working, you're getting frustrated, when you're being negative, whatever, nothing's going to change because that's still what you're putting out there and that's still what you're saying. So you have to, even it may not be working, but you have to switch your mindset and then believe that it is working, it's going to work, that you can do it. You have to believe it, saying that. So we have to make sure our mindsets and is on point with that, because that is so huge. So if you're super down on yourself that you haven't signed anyone yet, well, you need to flip your mindset around, because nothing's going to change until you believe you can and you flip that mindset where you're being positive.
Yeah, 100% on that and stuff. And I knew Monday I was going to come around and it was going to be gangbusters, gangbusters. I have a fire in my gut. I mean, it's just burning right now. And I had to take care of some things, but I'm back full force. I might have some appointments happening. Supposed to go to Fresno this weekend. I'm trying to see if maybe I can get out of going to Fresno. I kind of don't want to go. But anyway, so I'm fired up. There's so much time that we have left in this month, and we can freaking make some crap happen this month, and we can turn it around. So I'm going balls to the wall. I was up until 1:30 yesterday morning. I'm just.
Hey, me too, Cassie.
Yeah.
I was feeding a baby.
I was watching Zooms, but yeah, I mean, I'm freaking excited. I'm freaking excited. I know the right people are gonna come. I can't even tell you how many people, when I posted on the Emerald and Above group, and I'm okay, so this is kind of what's happened and blah, blah, blah. I can't even tell you how many people are oh my gosh, me too, girl. Everyone's kind of had a little bit of a weeding out process, and that happens. But when we stay vigilant, I talked to one girl, she's pushing for triple as well. She enrolled in March or April. She enrolled 41 distributors personally. I think it was March, because she said it was the $20 code. Personally, 41 distributors. She said that it was an easy transition to double because she had so many other distributors on her team. So you guys understand, when we get really good at enrolling distributors, understand it's going to make promotions easy. Because
none of this last minute stuff we're having to buy $500 worth of products or
yeah. Understand for
Sales refreshing to see if we maintained, like,
Yeah.
none of that.
Yeah, understand for me and Mariah to keep our ranks, we each spent $1,000 last month just to keep our ranks. Okay, when we are all working together as a team, we don't have to do that anymore. Okay, there won't be. Anna, you will go to Diamond with ease. Ashley, you'll go to Diamond with ease. Because distributors add multiplication to your business, you guys. Where loyals is just an addition. Okay, so when we get really good and we put our focus into this and figuring out what works great for us, it's going to happen effortlessly. Okay, with deals or no deals. Okay, it's just going to happen because people do want, like, they do want extra money. They do want the freedom. They do want to stay home with their babies. So that's never going to change. Okay, so let's go out there. Let's get fired up. I'll post the scripts. If you guys didn't see them in the chat, I'll post them in the groups and stuff, and so that way you guys can see it. And then let's kind of roll around some other ideas on, you know, of just a 6 list and how to keep people, like, and everybody being on schedule with the push. And, like, yeah, I'm fired up. I'm ready to sign some people, man. All right, guys. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Say bye, Samuel.
Bye.
Bye-bye.